Okay, so TVM Solver is just an easier way to do compound interest. We can do other things with it, but mainly for us, it's going to be used for compound interest. It's on all of the graphing calculators we have at school, but there's also a whole bunch of different websites that we can use graphing calculators with. GeoGebra has a really good TVM solver on it, and that's the one we're going to use. I've linked that in our daily outline. When we're looking at compound interest, we just have to remember that like annually, it's compounding once a year, semi-annually, twice a year, quarterly, 4 times monthly, 12 times daily, 365. There's weekly, which would be 52, and bi-weekly would be 26. We've talked about different things like that as well. Okay, so when you look at your TVM solver, what you're going to see is this. Now, N, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this over here. N is going to stand for the, depending on what we're looking for, but for us, N is going to be our number of years. Okay, oops, that's a bad arrow. I is going to be our interest rate. And it's going to be the rate as a percent. We actually don't have to change it. The calculator will do all of the work for us. PV is present value. So what is it worth right now? Payments, we're never going to change this. This would be regular payment, and we're not going to deal with it. Okay, so our regular payment's always going to be 0. So we don't want to touch that one. Future value is FV. P/Y, again, we're not going to touch it, is payments per year. Okay, and for us, we're just going to leave that. And C/Y is compounds per year. So we're going to change that with our compounding period. Okay, so all I need to do to find my unknown is actually push the solve button beside it. Okay, so if we're going through these questions, what I'm going to do is we'll pull up this question. So determine the value. And then I'm going to grab my graphing calculator here. And we're going to start entering things in. Okay, so we've got 3 years. We've got an interest rate of 4.6%. We got a present value of $2,500. We're trying to figure, we don't touch our payments. We know we're compounding annually, and we're trying to figure out our future value. So if we click solve for future value, that negative just means that the bank is going to be getting that percentage. So you could put a negative here that you're putting money into the bank. So you're losing $2,500, and then you're getting back $2,861. Okay, so our future value in this case is $2,861.11. So the graphing calculator is actually doing all of the work for us. We don't have to do any work anymore, which is kind of nice. Okay, now this next one, all I'm doing is kind of looking for the information. I'm going to clear my graphing calculator. We're going to Greece for 2 years. So let's see, is that going to be our... Yep, that's going to be our years. So we're going to Greece for 2 years. So we're going to put 2 in. Now, the next thing it says is that, oh, let's get rid of that. The next thing it says is that we need approximately $10,000. So if we need that, that's actually going to be our future value. So we're going to put in 10,000 for future value. Okay, so how much money do we need to invest now? That would be the present value. It then tells us our rate is 7.5%. And it tells us that we're compounding monthly. So we need to go down to compounds per year and change that. Now that we've got that, we can click solve for present value. And what that's telling me is that we need to put in $8,611 and 10 cents. It's 0.1, so that would be 0.10. And if we put in that at 7.5% compounded monthly, we'd end up with $10,000 in 2 years. Again, the graphing calculator kind of does all of the work for us. Okay, last question here. Sorry that it's kind of written funny, but we're going to clear it. Okay, George has $3,000 in his account. He's trying to have $5,000 at the end. So what this is telling us is that we actually have 3,000. We want 5,000, and it's going to happen in 3 years. It says, what interest rate does he need if he's compounding daily? Well, compounding daily is actually really good. So we have 365. And we're going to scroll up, solve for the interest rate. And, oh, the reason that it's not giving me anything here is that I need to put $3,000 in. So that's going to be minus 3,000. Now if I solve for my interest, and it's still not working. Let's put that at the end. And let's put 3,000 here. Let's try this again. So clear. 3 years. We've got minus 3,000. We're going to have a future value of 5,000 and a compounding period of 365. And there we go. Whoa. Mr. Shaw, struggling here. All right, so we'll finish that one in